America, we're in the 75th season of the NBA. And on a weekly basis, me and my brothers are really going to look at something from the historical standpoint of the league. And we really going to analyze it. Last week, we did a historical comp. I think that was me and my brother Tim G. Jacob. We looked at Scottie Pippen versus Paul George. Well, this week, I'm coming in hot. My brothers would tell me that I'm tearing down a statue,
Oh, it's gone.
that I'm taking down a legend,
I'm still sweeping.
that I'm ruining history. But I'm not. I'm just telling the truth. Phil Jackson is overrated. He is not the GOAT coach. He's not. He's blessed. It's either between him and Red Auerbach and Pat Riley to see who's the most blessed. Probably
Pause.
really him and Red. Okay.
Pause.
Cut. See there. Get your shit together over there.
Pause.
At least Pat Riley went to New York and he had the superstar in Patrick Ewing, but he really had to try to goddamn put some shit around Patrick and build a coach and all that kind of shit. We ain't never see Phil Jackson have to do no shit like that, not as a head coach. We saw Phil Jackson have to do something like that when he became a GM and he tried to hire coaches who would implement the triangle in New York City, and that shit didn't work out.
Didn't work out.
Okay? But as a head coach, he made his bones by coaching the greatest player of all time in Michael Jeffrey Jordan,
Okay.
by coaching
Scottie Pippen.
the guy who see there. Let me not. Okay, you're right. I apologize. Joe trying to make sure that I don't catch no smoke. Let me by coaching Scottie Pippen. Okay, let me not do that because Scottie don't play. Okay, Scottie want his fucking credit. Okay,
Told y'all.
but I'm gonna get back to that. But by coaching, I was about to say by coaching the guy who is, I like to call him Diet Mike. Somebody said I was being disrespectful. I'm not being disrespectful when I call Kobe Bean Bryant Diet Mike. What I'm saying by saying that is that Bean was the closest thing I've seen to Mike in terms of he was two-way, and then on the offensive end, he basically emulated everything Mike was doing. Not as good as Mike, but like he was that guy.
Down.
He was a step down from that. Oh, and he had Shaquille O'Neal to go with that. That's what Phil made his bones doing. Okay? And then as I watch stuff, and now as I read stuff, okay, I read the Jordan rules. I'm damn near finished with Scottie Pippen's book, Unguarded. Everything I read tells me that the offense was Tex Winters. The defense was Johnny Bach and Jim Clemens. So the X's and O's was not Phil Jackson. So that leaves Phil with this Zen shit, which really leaves Phil with trying to manage egos, stroke these motherfucking superstars, just get them to do what you need them to do at the right time. That's what the fuck you need. Okay? But if you go back and do your research, the Bulls made the Eastern Conference Finals with Doug Collins. That was in Scottie Pippen's second year they made the Eastern Conference Finals. Who's to say if you don't give Scottie a little more time to develop out of Central Arkansas, they don't do the same shit? They went to a game 7 in 1990. They went to game 6 in 1989 before Doug lost his job. Who's to say? You say that Phil got Kobe Bryant and Shaq to work on the same accord Kobe was fresh out of high school in 1996. The man just needed to grow up.
That's true.
He just needed to grow up. Like, triangle or not, the man just needed to grow up. Can it get, because it was still a grown. This ain't today's league where you got so many guys are one and dones and all that kind of shit. That was still a grown man's league back then.
It was.
So you just had to give Bean time to grow up. He was self-motivated. Phil ain't make that motherfucker go in the gym. Bean was doing that.
He was.
Okay. So I just feel like Phil is overrated. I look at guys like Pop, who Tim Duncan was ready-made. Tim Duncan ready-made. David Robinson, ready-made when Pop got hold of to David Robinson. But Manu's second round pick, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Second round. Bled second round.
Grew that motherfucker. Tony Parker, when nobody checking for Tony Parker like that. Grew that motherfucker. Coached that motherfucker. Kawhi Leonard, when nobody looking for Kawhi like that for real, for real. Grew that motherfucker. Coached that motherfucker. You look at Larry Brown. Larry Brown took the Philadelphia 76ers to the finals and got a game off the Lakers, who had not lost a game that whole playoffs, with AI and a bunch of defenders. Just preaching team ball. Larry Brown, tell me if I'm mistaken now, was he not the coach of the 2004 Detroit Pistons who knocked off my Lakers?
You finally got one, yeah.
Without a superstar, just preaching team ball and playing the game the right way.
Yeah.
That's all.
Them the type of motherfuckers I look at and say, that some bitch can coach.
He did.
That some bitch can coach. Now look, again, you do have it takes something to manage talent, manage egos. But for everybody to just look at these rings and say Phil is the guy in the 75th season of the NBA, I'm gonna have to say that's cap. I'm sure my brother's about to push back on me on this shit, but maybe not. I don't know. Let's see. JoJo, what do you think about my statements that Phil Jackson is overrated?
When you say overrated, are you're judging this based off with how the media sees him?
Yes, because they have him at 1. They
Okay.
pretty much everybody got him at 1, so I don't think he's at 1.
Yeah. Okay, I agree. I agree. I agree. I mean, I've always said I felt Pop was the GOAT
Okay.
for me. I mean, it's just the little small things that Pop did, like him creating load management, right? This is how you know you the GOAT. Pop created the load management, right? But it's the players that get taken to task for doing it. Something that a coach implemented, but it was a genius idea. It kept Tim fresh, kept Manu fresh. But yeah, I've always felt that Pop has done more with less, so to speak. Phil definitely is. Well, I don't want to say blessed because that's pause. You know, Phil had a lot of blessings. Yeah, Phil had a lot of blessings. Yeah, so this time you got it right. I mean, it's been a while, but
See,
you got it right.
I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Okay. T, are you agreeing with me over here? Y'all say I be pulling down these statues. You the number one person that be saying I'm pulling down the statues. Are you tying the rope onto the statue with me on this one?
Well, the statue already in the ground. I'm just trying to clean up.
Okay.
I mean, it's dead. It's gone. I ain't no sense in me sitting around looking for Phil Jackson's blowing the whistle to say, and then got the little thing next to it say Scotty out to the side. I ain't looking for that no more.
Scotty!
That whole statue dead. No, but I really think it's true because media has never said to me that Phil Jackson is a X and O's guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, as I think back, I don't hear those sentiments of a guy that has the X's and O's, knows how to coach them up, knows how to take what's going into this game, and just and that's true because when he went to New York, it wasn't sweet in New York.
Mm-hmm.
So something to be said about that. If you that nice, you ought to be able to at least get New York popping to a certain degree, and it didn't work out. Pop's the guy, and he's gonna be the guy for me because Pop is still coaching today, and that's the thing. I don't think Phil could coach today. I don't think Phil could coach today's athlete. I don't think Phil could coach today's basketball player. I just don't. I think Pop in that organization understands the kind of guys they need to bring in, and they bring those guys in, those guys that are moldable, we can develop, we can groom. And he's got a lot of youth on that team, like right now, this current roster that he has, and he's still coaching. Pop's in his 70s, So yeah, I'm good with it. Where you want me to sit? You want me to sit at in the trunk, in the bed of the truck, or in the passenger seat? Because I watched that statue fall. I'm good with that.
I'm just happy because usually y'all take me to task on these
No,
in
tear
the
it down.
group text.
I'll go ahead, tear it down.
I appreciate this.
I mean, Pip statue already on the ground for me, so I'm good with just tearing it all up.
We're gonna come back to that. I'm almost finished with the book. When
look,
I'm finished with
Gone
the
and
book, we're
lean-
gonna come back there.
Lean Mike statue against a building, and then just like have Pip statue on the ground and Fields next to each other. Let them laying there side by side, head and foot, like we used to do back in the day, like bunk bed style. I'm good with it.
But that's why I am with it. I fuck with Phil. I do fuck with Phil. That's team of my youth. And then he moved to the Lakers and coach. That's part of the reason I went to the Lakers. Not only was Bean playing like Mike, Phil brought the same system over there. And so I'm seeing the same shit that I saw with the Bulls. You know what I'm talking about? But again, when I look at it, I just gotta say the man been blessed to have guys. You got a coach on the floor with Michael Jordan and Kobe Bean Bryant. Like with that second, take for instance his second stint with the Lakers, where you got Kobe and Powell and Lamar and all them boys. Kobe crazy ass is the one that's getting up in Lamar and Powell and toughening them up. Same thing with Mike in them early years with Pip and Horace and all them boys. Them boys needed somebody to get on their ass. Look at The Last Dance. When Dennis Rodman ass was out of pocket, who went to go get him? Phil didn't go get him. Michael Jordan went to that motherfucking room and got him.
He did.
So it's like you blessed to have an alpha dog like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You blessed to have a motherfucker on the team who not only a leader, but can come on the court and go get a 30 ball.
Yep.
Go get a 30 ball and then go defend his position.
Yep.
You hella blessed. You know what I'm saying? So, America, don't fucking at me on this one. But Phil Jackson is overrated.
Statue fall.
Put it on something. My kids wanted me to tell y'all to make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow me across all social media platforms, like the videos, and share them. Did I forget anything?
And turn on the post notifications.
Y'all heard them. And also, visit StatementTeesLLC.com and shop with us. That's Statement Tees. Every t-shirt you wear
Makes a statement.